So the meds, if you don't balance the meds just right,
well, that happened to me the other night.
Crazy Lawrence. Anyway, hey, welcome back. Thank God we pre-taped the show.
Yeah, because we don't.
Hey, we're now back with Marc Thiessen. Marc, very good to have you with us.
And Lawrence is still with us too.
Lawrence is with us too, but we're going to give. Now, this is the rule because we don't yell on this show.
We don't.
By the way, Lawrence is going to be on Ed tonight.
You're doing the Ed show. You can kick his
The
dad.
Democrats were against the filibuster.
By the way, Lawrence.
Warm up for Ed.
By the way, Lawrence, you said you wanted some psycho talk. You run the clip of yourself tonight. You got psycho.
You are
so, Marc,
golden.
a lot of things thrown at you before the break. We're going to let you talk. Mika's going to have a question. Lawrence is going to get 30 seconds at the end, and then you're going to have a 30-second response. Go, Marc.
Well, first of all, I'm alleging that the CIA program was the most effective intelligence program we've ever had. You don't have to take my word for it. Let me read you a quote from John Brennan, the Obama administration's top counterterrorism advisor, in an interview with Jane Mayer in 2007. She asked him whether enhanced interrogation techniques were necessary to keep America safe, and he replied, "Would the U.S. be handicapped if the CIA was not, in fact, able to carry out these types of detention and debriefing activities? I would say yes." So John Brennan, if you take his words for it, in 2007, Barack Obama has handicapped this country by eliminating the CIA's capability to question and interrogate senior terrorist leaders.
All right, but in fact, one of the inception of the conversation with Jane Mayer yesterday, and then it just went completely into the big picture, which brought you on the show today, Marc, was one of the issues was the Christmas Day bomber and how he was handled. How is it different than the way other terrorists have been handled, and quite fine, thank you, in previous administrations? Isn't this becoming a political football and being abused that way?
Well, first of all, the people who are making it political football are the Obama administration. These are the John Brennan goes out yesterday and says anyone who criticizes the idea that you would that you would read a terrorist his Miranda rights after 50 minutes and let him sit silent for 5 weeks is unpatriotic and is hating the cause of Al-Qaeda. That is a shameful thing to say. So we're not questioning the patriotism of the Obama administration. We're questioning the wisdom of their policies. The reason we were caught blind on Christmas Day is because on his second day of office, Barack Obama eliminated our capability to capture, detain, and effectively interrogate terrorists. Let me
stop you there. No, it is true. And this is something that yesterday I actually had somebody in the intelligence agency call me up and say, Joe, you were suggesting that we should have put the Christmas Day bomber into
how did Richard Reed
hold on.
How did Richard Reed
you made us a promise. I'm going to ask you to sit in your corner.
Richard Reed. I just want those running on
Richard Reed.
I'll take on Richard Reed.
I have a point that I need to make that is an important point, and that is yesterday I asked Jane Mayer why we didn't put the Christmas Day bomber into the program. My intel source called me up and said, the program no longer exists. All we have now is the FBI capturing, reading them their Miranda rights. So this program, and Americans don't know it, this program that we're debating has been wiped out. We don't have two choices anymore, do we?
You're absolutely right, and let me tell you why this is dangerous. Mike Hayden, when I interviewed him for my book, Courting Disaster, he explained to me that intelligence is like putting together a puzzle, and you've got all the pieces laid out on the table in front of you, thousands of pieces, intercepts of phone calls. A guy comes into the embassy and says, my son's become a radical, and you've got to connect these pieces, but you're not allowed to look at the picture on the cover of the box. When you capture a terrorist like Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and you question him, he's not just giving you more information, he's showing you the picture on the cover of the box. He's not giving you more intelligence. He's telling you how the intelligence pieces you have fit together. That is what we have lost in this country. We don't have the ability to see the picture on the cover of the box anymore because we're not capturing and interrogating the top leaders of Al-Qaeda. And that is why we were caught blind on Christmas Day.
It's
very, very dangerous.
I'm going to kind of tee it up for Lawrence again because I thought we were caught blind on September 11th, frankly.
Yeah,
and I guess that's kind of I'm going to do it with a little less vitriol here, but I think Lawrence's point is, hey, wait a second, before we go and point back.
It's almost, are you kidding me?
To the brilliance of the Bush defense system here, that was the asleep at the wheel moment.
I don't know.
That's where we lost thousands of lives. The point is that you're basically saying that we are less safe now and pointing backwards at the genius of the Bush administration.
But Johnny, we put this into place as a result of 9/11.
Exactly.
There you go, Joe. Stopped us from being attacked after 9/11. Wasn't that the idea?
Can I respond to what he said?
Yes.
Can I respond to what he said? We were caught blind on 9/11. You're absolutely right because we weren't capturing and interrogating these terrorists. course.
So I got a problem with that.
We corrected course, and we set up a system where we could capture terrorists, find out what they knew. We didn't know who Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was even. Yeah. And now the Obama administration has thrown that out and gone back to the pre-9/11 approach. The fact that we made a mistake and we didn't stop 9/11 doesn't prove your point that we should go back to what we were doing that led to 9/11.
Here we go. Lawrence, you have 30 seconds, and then Mark gets a response. Ready, go.
Okay. Mark, I'm wondering about your own personal experience with torture. I know you grew up in the richest zip code in America, in the Upper East Side. You went to the only boarding school in Connecticut that I know of that has a golf course, as well as two skating rinks.
Opposition research.
And then you went to Vassar, and of course, like all the torture mongers in the White House, the Cheney family included, you never served a day in the military, never considered
what does that prove, Lawrence?
Well, I'm wondering, with that background, what is it that gives you an expertise on torture? What makes you love it so much?
First of all, one, it's not torture. Second of all, Jane Mayer said the other day, I never had a security clearance. Basically, she said that she doesn't know what she's talking about. I had a security clearance. I was read into the CIA program. When President Bush wrote his speech and did a speech in September 2006 to reveal this program, I was taken into a secure room in the National Security Council. I was given access to all of the intelligence this program produced, and I actually met with the actual interrogators who interviewed Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and got the information to stop attacks.
So that's my expertise. You did yours in about 25 seconds. We're going to have you guys back for a full 3 hours. Mark, thank you so much. It was interesting. I've got to say, we don't usually do the crossfire thing here, but what can I say, Lawrence?
Ed needed, Lawrence needed something for Ed tonight.
You got it.
He got it.
We'll be right back. What did we learn today? Next.